It is a rainy Wednesday morning here in Guttenberg, Iowa, a little bit after 9 a.m. Just dropped off the car with my Uncle David to have the oil changed and just generally do a quick once over on the car, make sure that it's going to be in tip-top shape for summer driving. I figured while I'm here, might as well get in my run back in the hills up here in Guttenberg, and also take out the new flip belt zipper waist belt for a test run. Alright, we are about 2 1/3 miles into the run for today. The top of the hill south of Checkered. Now we're going to be running kind of along this ridge line until we head gradually back downhill and end up on the other side of Checkered, going through some country roads and dirt roads. Hopefully it's not too muddy, otherwise it should be a really nice run. For the loadout today, I've got the flip belt water bottle, which holds a little bit less than 12 ounces of fluid. I've got some Gatorade Endurance in there. In the front, in the zipper pocket, I've got the case for these earbuds, a Univet gel in case I need it, and a phone. Alright, 1 hour into the run so far. Having a little bit of problems keeping the bottle in place on this flip belt. I was hoping that with the differences in the way that the slide-in pockets are designed on this one compared to the flip belt that I've been running in the past, that I wouldn't have issues with the bottle jumping out of the belt when I don't want it to. But I'm still having that problem, and now it's kind of like you break the seal on it, and now every time I try to put it back into the belt, it just doesn't want to stay in place. It keeps moving to the left or to the right, and it keeps wanting to dislodge itself. No matter how I kind of wedge the bottle inside the pocket, it always finds a way to wiggle its way out. 11.05 miles, 9 minutes, 28 seconds per mile, 143 beats per minute today. Going for a rainy run, but a very fun run out in the hills in Guttenberg, Iowa. It's a route that I hadn't run in a while, so it was nice to get back out there again. And taking the flip belt zipper out for a first run. Now, before I give you my thoughts on this hydration belt or waist pack, I do want to go over some disclosures. This is a product that I purchased myself. No one sent it to me. No one's paying me to make this video. And no one's going to get a chance to preview any of my footage or my thoughts before you guys get a chance to see this video on YouTube. So with that being said, let's talk about the flip belt zipper. Now, I've had the regular flip belt for a while now, and it's been one of my go-to favorites, but there's been two things that I've had problems with. One is that there isn't a lot of capacity in terms of liquids that you're able to carry with the flip belt. And two is that sometimes it's not the most secure of waist belts. So I've definitely lost a couple of things. I've lost gels out of it. The water bottle has fallen out of it. So a couple of problems that I was hoping that this updated version, the zipper version, would solve. So let's take a look at the changes, the things that are different between like the original flip belt and the new flip belt. In both cases, what the flip belt is, in case you haven't seen the flip belt before, it's basically a tube of fabric that goes around your waist. So it's kind of like a little bit on top of the waistband of your running pants. For most of the run today, I wore it like over my shirt, just so you guys could hopefully see it a little bit better. But what I really like to do is kind of untuck the shirt and wear it over top of the belt. It kind of looks a little bit bulky. You kind of see that there's something underneath my shirt there, but it's a lot more comfortable for me to run with it that way. And so that's generally how I like to wear it. And it's a tube of fabric with kind of like a seam down each side. So there's a front side and then there's a back side. And on this one, it's a little bit different than the original flip belt, which the original flip belt was kind of like split like down the middle. So like there was like a seam or like a kind of like a divider right on like their exact left and your exact right hip. This one with the flip belt zipper, I feel like they moved that forward a little bit and put the zipper pocket up front, which has been nice because it definitely solved the problem that I had previously where sometimes when I put gels in the front of the flip belt, the gels would fall out while I was going for a long run. And on some workouts where that's happened to me before, it was a real problem because I'd kind of very specifically planned out how many gels I was going to need for the run. When you lose one, that becomes a problem. So the zipper is really nice. I put a gel, my earbuds case, and my phone in the front pocket, zipped it up, iPhone 11 Pro with a case on it. Everything fit just fine. No worries about anything falling out of there. I do wish that there were kind of more zipper pockets though, because again, it's a theme. I don't like to have things that I don't really need to reach for during a run, like an earbud case and a phone, mixed with things that I do want to be reaching for, like gels, because then you're like just pulling stuff out and then you're hoping that the stuff you want to stay in stays in and only the stuff that you want to come out comes out. It ended up not being a problem for me on this particular run, but it's always something that kind of gives me a little bit of extra concern. I wish there was a kind of a better way of divvying up the space in the flip belt a little bit better. And that's kind of the theme of what I've wanting from this flip belt is it's getting better. It still doesn't solve all the problems that I've had for a waist pack or a hydration belt. In the back, they've changed it up a little bit from last year's or the original version of the flip belt. And so in the back, there are kind of like three kind of slits. In the previous version, there were two slits, and those were little openings so that way you could slide stuff into that tube of fabric that was in there. And basically, it's not zippered closed or clasped closed by any means, but instead like the tension of the waist pack around your abdomen is usually kind of enough. The tension is enough to keep everything together. Now, in this one, there are three holes or three openings for stuff to get slid in and out of that waist belt. And I was hoping that with the change in position of where those openings were, that sliding the water bottle in would be a little bit easier and that I wouldn't have the problem where sometimes with the original version, the water bottle kind of like shimmies itself out. Like after a while, like the vibration and running, things tend to like vibrate and move. Unfortunately for me, with this run, the water bottle definitely like fell right out. I was lucky that I got it on camera, so I'm not like making it up. But the water bottle did fall out while I was on a run. It was probably just a little bit past the halfway mark on the run. And then from that point, for whatever reason, I don't know if it just stretches a little bit. Every time I put it back in there, I just felt like it kept finding a way to find
the openings to get back out. Now you can kind of position the water bottle that's in there in a way that it's not near any of the openings, so that way like just fabric is enclosing it in. But just with vibrations, it always just finds a way to kind of start wiggling out. So it became like a persistent concern of mine. I should mention that the water bottle is a separate purchase from the flip belt itself, and that's something that I bought a couple of years ago now at this point, because I found it to be pretty useful. I really think that it kind of should come with it, or maybe they should sell them as a bundle, because the 12 ounce flip belt bottle I feel like is a really good size for a lot of my runs. I put 12 ounces of Gatorade Endurance drink mix in there, and I felt like that was a good amount of fluid plus one gel to have for this particular run, and keeping me feeling good for the level of intensity that this run was, which was an easy run. So I do really like having that water bottle in there. I just wish that like it would just stay in there. So I feel like they should make like a flip belt zipper plus or flip belt zipper extra or max or something where everything is zippered, because I love the flip belt. They made this one even a little bit wider so it can fit phones in there just a little bit easier too, but I just wish that there'd be more like everything should be zippered. Give me many zippers. I would love that. I would prefer to have that, because that way if I could just unzip it, grab the water bottle out, and then like have a big giant opening to just drop the water bottle back in and then zip it closed again, that's something that I feel like I could reach for a lot easier with the flip belt, and it would solve like basically all the problems then that I have. The only problem that I might have left then at that point is that sometimes 12 ounces of fluid isn't enough and I might need a little bit more than that, but that's relatively rare in terms of most of my runs. And so in those situations, I probably need to be bringing a full-on hydration vest anyway, something with the bladder in the back. So, you know, I feel like they're making some compromises with the size of the water bottle, but I feel like I can kind of live with it, maybe. Or I could live with it better if there were just zippers on everything. So as it stands, with only zippers in the front, and I don't think that the water bottle can fit in that front pocket with the zipper, it's still not like exactly the waist pack that I'm looking for. It's getting very close, but it's still not going to be my favorite. I still just think that for most of my summer running, even if I don't need to fully fill a water bladder, I'm just going to run with a hydration vest and put the bladder in the back, because it's just really easy to drink out of the hose and then put it back and tuck that hose away and just keep running. I don't have to worry about it bouncing around. It kind of sits on the back wall. The only problem is that it just feels a little bit hot because you got like all this stuff on you, but I don't know. I've tried so many different waist packs over the last like month and a half now, and just none of them are really like jumping out at me as being like, this is the one that I've been looking for. There's a couple more that I'll look at. A lot of you guys have been suggesting your favorite waist packs to me as well, so I hadn't heard of those before, so those will be ones that I'll be looking at still, because I think it's like, even if it takes me the entire summer to get this nailed down, I think it's going to be worth it. I'm going to keep looking. Hit that subscribe button so you could see more testing of more waist packs, hydration belts, whatever you want to call them, and you'll see those videos as soon as those come out. If you have any questions about the flip belt zipper, feel free to put them in the comments down below, or better yet, feel free to stop by the live stream that I do. I try to do Monday through Friday. This year, this month especially, with a lot of travel that's going on, the schedule's been all sorts of crazy, but generally I like to go Monday through Friday for the live stream, and you can always ask me anything you like in the chat over there. That's all I have for today, everybody. Thanks so much for making it all the way to the end of the video. Hopefully you guys are staying safe out there on your runs, and I'll see you in the next one.
Yo, what's going on?